Remember that time in Puerto Rico when we picked up those two,
I'm so stupid.
well, I guess they were prostitutes, but I don't remember
paying, man.
Okay, how about that?
Terrific. I'm a person too, Pop, goddammit. I'm a person too.
You're a moron.
I think what he's trying to say is true love is blind.
Okay.
With some love.
Best man, everybody.
Best man.
Oh,
The better man.
Let's get him corralled off stage here, man. He's still coming back. He's taking
He's
over.
playing the guitar now.
Isn't that great?
That's lovely.
He's doing good.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Let's got the best guitar player in the world.
Get encouraged.
Self-taught, no lessons. Thank you very much, Pop.
All right.
We'll be divorced in a year.
Welcome to the Chasing Domenico podcast. I got to be your friend, Grandma Molly. I'm talking to you.
That's right, girl.
I'm an asshole.
I am an asshole. All I know is that to me you look like you're lots of fun. Open up your loving arms and watch out. Here I come. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round.
The
You
siren,
spin
come on.
me round and round,
Girlfriends.
in your face.
It is gonna be fun today.
Siren's in the wedding.
It is going to be fun
Welcome to
today.
the Chasing Domenico podcast.
Episode 39, and today we are honoring the wedding singer.
Julia's last name's gonna be Gulia. Julia Gulia. That's funny. Why is that funny?
That's a ridiculous
I don't know.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Julia Gulia.
Poor Julia.
Julia.
She just realized it
It's
now.
like, that's what you see, her realization of it. It's crazy.
Whenever I hear the name Julia, right now in life, it doesn't matter. I'm like, Julia Gulia.
Julia Gulia. That's funny.
It is funny. This is chapter 4. Here's some more. Will Ferrell is the king around here.
Yes.
And any Will Ferrell character can stop by anytime.
Can't wait to see who it is. Who's stopping by today, D? We're going streaking! We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! Come on! Snoop! Snoop-a-loop! That's gonna happen, man.
Come on! We're running! Come on! Woo! Woo! We're streaking! We're streaking!
For president! Prince baby! This podcast is rated PG-13 for extra fabulous fun.
You must listen to this podcast
Because
at
it's a
maximum
rock
volume.
and roll podcast.
That's right, go D.
Oh, we mixed it that way, so listen to it with headphones.
Loud.
Loud.
Chasing Domenico podcast is the Rocky Horror of podcasts.
With group participation.
Rice and beans!
Still good, always good.
Rice and beans! Rice and beans! Rice and beans!
Domenico is a recording artist.
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, yeah!
Domenico is a recording artist, and you can always hear her music at DominicoArtist.com. Always hear her laughing at Franks and Beans.
Consider the duration of this podcast a staycation from your problems.
What?
This is impossible, man. If you're a
Get
new
through it
listener,
here. Don't
don't
be
worry,
scared.
guys. There's a lot of inside jokes.
Hey!
Hey! All you need is a good sense of humor, an open heart, and if you like the paranormal, then look no further because you're home.
There's the Inception train.
Time to pull you into my
We're going
dream.
deep.
Blast off to Planet Tomac. You don't need a passport.
Or pants.
Transport! Welcome to Planet Tomac.
See, Billy Idol gets it. I don't know why she doesn't get
Why
it.
did you say we don't need pants?
That's right, we don't need pants.
Start playing the drinking game now. Everything here is free like Rainbow Land, and we all have health care. This is a magical, mythological planet. Demigods are here. There's fairy circles on the floor.
There's everything
what
here.
you just heard is Jack Ferry. He's our tour guide here. He's the Kang Fairy.
He takes us from topic to topic and helps us keep this moving, man.
Because sometimes I drift off into the ditch. You can be your alter ego like Dungeons and Dragons.
And you get magical powers like Harry Potter or Twilight. You get a six-pack Twilight house. That's the magic.
I'm Queen D. Morpheus, the siren. You're under my spell when I sing, and I'm freeing your mind, unplugging you from the matrix that is fear.
I am WT Wizard, the shapeshifter.
You sure the fuck are.
Hoverboard, cruising.
It's so shiny. Vernon Knights, Vernon Knights, Bronies, Trekkers, Legend Trippers, GAC family, you're all welcomed here. You hear that? That's a harpy, a mythological harpy.
What do they do, dude?
They're here to keep the haters and the bullies off of planet Tolmac because they're not invited to this party.
No.
I have two old dogs, Shakespeare and Lola, and they get
Geriatric.
magical powers too. Lola is 12, and she turns into the zombie pug fairy. Go find some chicken, baby. No. That leaves Shakespeare, my 14-year-old, 25-pound grumpy Shih Tzu.
The man.
He is impossible to groom. We had a new groomer. She stopped mid-groom
And said,
because
"I'm
he's
out."
bitter. They sedated him. It didn't matter.
Right, you just powered through
Don't
it.
look at me, puppy. Mommy's annoyed with you, but he gets to talk on Planet Tolmac. All right, what do you want to say today, puppy?
Hey, my man!
Yeah, what's up?
Fuck you! Suck my dick!
He's pissed
He's upset, man.
Rockefeller!
Why is he upset? The groomer's only got bit.
because I tried to groom him. I'm running out of people. It's impossible.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no
No
toothbrush.
toothbrush. Maybe Shakespeare's so pissed because he has no toothbrush.
That's a mystery clip.
There's Jack Ferry, our tour guide. It's time to move to the first topic.
Can't wait for this topic.
All right, ready? One, two, three.
Caller
Caller of the month. Guys are gonna love this. In show business, you deal with some really crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are an independent company like ELE Media New York, you're dealing with extra crazy people in show business.
Right.
Why can't everyone just play nice?
This is a call between me and one of the investors in ELE Media.
Yeah.
And he is wacky.
He's a bully.
He's a bully.
Every-
He's crazy. And I never know what his calls
We
are
still don't know
about
what
in
this
general.
call was
Right.
about, except he was pissed off at somebody. What a surprise.
This is just a Tuesday with this dude. I put him on speakerphone and I recorded the magic that happened from
This is-
this from beginning to end. This is the whole call.
Here it goes.
Here we go. Hello.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I have never, ever had a problem, ever. I went to Cornell University Hotel School. I'm in the service business. Do hoops for customers. I run a $500 million business with 50 salesmen. All I do is put out fucking fires. I've never met a cunt like this woman in my life. Listen to me, the less I see that fucking fat bitch, the better off my life is.
Clearly, you have an issue with Jack. I don't know what that is, but I would never talk about her like that.
I don't give a fuck about you right now. I'm talking about me.
All right, take it down a notch, bro. Take a breath.
Okay.
Watch how you're talking to me, and we can keep going with this call. I can put
Okay.
Domenico on here, and this transaction will be over.
Yeah, no problem. Listen to me. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you told me I got someone who'll buy it and they'll give you $8.25, $8.50, fucking you make some money, I make some money, I'm out of that house. Before you tell him yes, I'm gonna need his name and where he works. Because I've got, like, you know, my whole family's cops. I want to make sure the guy's not a fucking scumbag, that he's a good guy. Let me ask you a question.
Why?
Ask around. Did the other guy ever get back to you, the guy for 1.35?
Yeah.
Good man. So the ball's in your court.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Later, buddy. Bye.
Thanks.
What?
Don't you talk to Billy Idol that way.
The call of the month here at the
Let me
ELE.
ask you a question. And
Yeah,
did he
ask you a
ever
question.
actually ask you a question?
No, that's just his setup to rant even more
I
at
know.
me. Let me ask you
He's
a question.
fucking animal, that guy. No class.
An out of control animal.
He is. He's a big dumb animal.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
That's obviously going to become part of the
He
podcast
has
now.
won a spot in the podcast
Yeah.
forever.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, let's explain this call. As we said at the top, it's you and one of the investors, money people.
Right.
Everybody's flexing. This guy has a problem with
I
everybody.
got him on speakerphone, and I knew I mean,
Because he drives everybody insane.
I got the recording. And it
Look
just
at
kept
their
getting
face
better.
over there. Obviously,
Yeah.
we bleeped his name and the woman that he's talking
Or
about.
the poor woman he's talking about.
But they're looking like you're using this in the podcast.
That's
These are
right.
investors of ELE Media.
Right.
I don't give a shit. If they're going to behave that way,
They're
then they
gonna
are
get
part of the podcast.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Ask you a question. Again.
One more time. Hello.
Hey, let me ask you a question. I have never, ever had a problem, ever.
It's a lie.
I went to Cornell University Hotel School. I'm in the service business.
These are
Do
lies.
hoops for customers. I run a $500 million business. With
Whatever.
60 salesmen.
Give or
All
take.
I do is put out fucking fires.
You start
I've never
fires.
met a cunt like this woman in my life. And listen to me, the less I see that fucking fat bitch, the better off my life is.
Clearly,
This is in the
you have an
afternoon.
issue
Listen to you,
with
listen to you.
I don't know what that is.
You're so calm.
But I would never talk about her like that.
I don't give a fuck about you right now. I'm talking about me.
All right, take it down a notch, bro. Take a breath.
Okay.
That's how you're talking to me, and we can keep going with this call.
Yeah.
I put Domenico on here, and this transaction.
That's the hammer. Domenico's
Okay,
the
no problem.
hammer.
Listen to me. And let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you told me I got someone who'll buy it and they'll give you 8.25, 8.50, fucking you make some money, I make some money, I'm out of that house. Before you tell him yes, I'm gonna need his name and where he works. Because I've got, like, you know, my whole family's cops. I want to make sure the guy's not a fucking
We
scumbag.
know,
This
we
is the
know.
guy.
That's
Let me ask you a
illegal.
question.
All right.
Yeah.
Ask around. Did the other guy ever get taxed you? The guy for 1.35?
Not
Yeah.
with that
Good man.
attitude.
So the ball's in your court.
Okay.
You're like, all right.
All right?
All right.
All right.
Later, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Thanks, bud. He cusses me out. Thanks,
All
buddy.
that. Later, buddy.
Later, my friend.
Hey, Rod, thanks for
Oh,
that.
shit.
Hey, buddy, how's it
How's
going?
it going?
Hot ride.
And he'll call you back 5 minutes later with the same shit. Thank you, WT Wizard, for bravely going where no man has gone before. Let me ask you a question.
And that is the ELE Media
Caller of the month.
All right.
Yeah.
Psycho. I'm not gonna feel better about this. It's over. Please get out of my Van Halen t-shirt before you jinx the band and they break up.
That's what happened.
Gosh, you made me a present. I am an asshole.
That's my fucking favorite.
Gosh, you made me a present. I am an asshole.
Let me ask you a question.
There's Jack Ferry,
That's
man.
why we got him, man. Where are we going now, Jack Ferry?
These are our ghost adventures.
Yes!
There are things in this world that we will never fully understand.
Where are we going, G? This
I'm going to one of my favorite lockdowns, the Goldfield Hotel.
You making all the noise?
Golds!
I think one of the most shocking things for me is, yes, what happened in the basement with the boards and the brick flying around, stuff like that, but it was what happened years later after that.
Tonight, some of the EVP that has the paranormal world buzzing.
This is how we met them, the EVP specialists,
good.
Mark and Debbie Constantino.
And I went down to the exact room where the brick was
With a
thrown.
news crew.
And they got a response that said, thank you, but we've done it.
Done it! GAC, the Goldfield Hotel, man. All right, so we did Redemption a long time ago, but
Right.
that's when the podcast was like 15 minutes.
Maybe 20. And when I went back in the podcast,
Yeah.
our section of GAC was
Yeah.
4 minutes long.
Right, now it's like a third of
Now
the
it's 20.
podcast. Right,
Right.
well, GAC
Let me
family.
ask you a question.
Fuck, I love that, man.
Travel Channel's been playing the reruns, and they played Goldfield, and then followed it with Goldfield Redemption. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck this shit. We never did Goldfield.
And that's
The
a great
EVPs
one, man.
are insane.
That's why they had the specialists there, Debbie and Mark Constantino.
Everybody knows the original Ghost Adventures documentary came out in 2004.
Yeah.
We've been fans since before then, because before the Travel Channel got it,
They were on Sci-Fi.
they were on Sci-Fi,
Right.
and it was something that they used to play, the Sci-Fi Channel, around Halloween time.
Right.
So I remember, so it was like a couple years where they would play it, and I'd be like, oh shit, those are those guys,
Yeah.
you know? And when they were in the basement, I remember thinking, holy shit, this is Blair Witch Project for reals. And I felt their terror.
Yeah.
That's it. lights went out, I would have pissed my pants. They're the base.
The Goldfield Hotel, the reason for our first visit to Goldfield, made an infamous appearance in the original Ghost Adventures documentary.
I like the music.
We can't get into the Goldfield Hotel. The owner of that place has sealed that place up, doesn't allow any more filming or anything like that.
They weren't even supposed to do the Goldfield Hotel.
No,
bro.
There were two other buildings, the Nixon building and the Santa Fe Saloon, which...
But it was
bro.
meant to be
Right.
because they saw, what was his name? Fox? Red
Roberts.
Red Roberts.
They just saw from afar, they're filming it, and they saw the truck that said red on it. They're like, damn,
Man, this guy's
may be
elusive.
here. And he's there that day, that time.
Who needs a radio? Ready, Harry? Mock.
Yeah.
Ing. Yeah. Bird. Yeah. 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 Mock. Ing. Bird.
That was Dumb and Dumber for Aaron, the big stepping king, man. The interns are laying into it.
Hey, Dirt, it actually is Red Roberts.
We are going to try our best and see if we can try and get in there for a night.
Don't try
So
to.
we are rolling on the cameras to just so you can watch this process
This
because
is really raw. You're
Yeah.
seeing it as we're seeing it play out right now.
They're going to work their magic. Like, come on, Red.
And
come
Red
on.
Roberts says, see.
See?
Yeah.
Bird. Yeah.
I got goosebumps when he said, "Yes, you guys are allowed in here." That's when I was like,
Question.
this is
serious?
This is a HGAC moment right now, a historic Ghost Adventures crew moment.
What I'm about to say was not expected for us.
We were going to be filming the building across the street, the Nixon building, and that was going to be our lockdown. But below and behold, the owner was here when we pulled up today.
I think our selling skills worked. Because, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. We, now with Aaron, who wasn't here with us in our first lockdown,
the trio.
are going to be locked down inside the Goldfield Hotel, Part 2.
GAC. They get another chant. That's so fucking awesome.
We had a ghost hunt here. We had like 150 people come from all over the country, and we brought them in like we like to do. Virginia Ridgway was there. She was in one of the rooms. And I started getting a little bit, heated a little bit.
Are you down here, you evil bastard?
And just as I said that, rocks about this big started being picked up off the floor and being thrown down by unseen forces, and they were hitting this older gentleman.
That one kind of hurt. Souvenir from the Goldfield.
This event that was witnessed by our guests not only was as satisfying for us as what we had experienced in the Goldfield's basement, but it also seemed to have a huge impact on our guests.
He was thankful. The guy that got hit by a rock, his exact wording was, "This is a dream come true."
That's amazing.
He gets hit by a rock, and he's thankful.
By a ghost rock. That was amazing.
We all know in Redemption, Zach gets hit by a big rock upstairs.
Right.
And at the end of Redemption, they show the footage to science guys to show the trajectory of the rock. And it was hard. Trust me, that was some trajectory.
Red Roberts tells him to go get the keys from Virginia Ridgway, who is the holder of the keys to the Goldfield. And she was actually at the ghost hunt there as well. So she's
in 2007.
Yeah, so they go down there. Nick goes in, meets with her, gets the keys, and the story he tells when he gets back in the car is amazing.
First thing she said to me when I walked in the house to talk to her about getting the keys is, she goes, "I don't want this filmed. I don't want anyone knowing about this, but look at this." She lifted up the side of her shirt, and it was a massive bruise. She said she broke her big toe. She was literally picked up, thrown, slammed into the doors.
In the Goldfield Hotel?
At her house. She said it was the spirits from the Goldfield came down there and violently attacked her. She said the reason why she thinks the spirits came down, she said they were probably warning her that
Because of
they
Zach.
don't want us back. I think the spirits know we're coming back.
It's almost like this has been planned
Yes,
by
it
the
has.
other side.
It
This
has.
is too coincidental.
Virginia is with them at Goldfield Redemption, and the whole foliage,
Right,
Elizabeth
right. Yeah,
in
yeah.
room 109, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, another caretaker that feels bad for a spirit has a job
task, yeah.
in Redemption.
Right.
She brings foliage,
And I'm sure there's a lot of other things she's been doing.
teddy bears,
Yeah.
a caretaker that feels bad for a spirit. We don't know who is pulling her in. I call bullshit. I don't think it's Elizabeth all the time. Pull the string! Pull the string!
There's great music for that.
They
the
stopped-
clown motel.
They stopped by a horrific clown
What
motel.
was that
I
about?
don't know. That's an odd attraction to
Zach
have
was
in the
so
middle of
funny
nowhere.
inside. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's like, all right, now I've got my hand on the desk. And the guy behind the desk was like, I'm afraid of clowns too. I don't know, like, you hear the music, it was
Right.
just a weird moment.
Yeah, they're in there and then they got the fuck out.
And then they met up with Mark and Debbie Constantino.
This is a monumental occasion, a moment. We are getting ready to get locked down inside the Goldfield Hotel. And what's really weird is we are going to allow Mark and Debbie Constantino, EVP experts, specialists, they are right here. And the weird story is, one particular EVP brought us together.
One great EVP can bring about world peace.
World change.
What Zach's talking about.
Is Mark and Debbie Constantino were down in the basement of the Goldfield Hotel with the news crew, and they got the EVP live.
Well, they were trying to get the brick thrown again in
Right.
the basement, and what they got was, thank you, but we've done it. Thank you, but we've done it. Let the lockdown begin.
The Goldfield Hotel is a treasure trove of unexplained voices, and Mark and Debbie Constantino are the best in the business at capturing electronic voice phenomena.
We've set the stage. We're back at the Goldfield Hotel. You guys ready? Let's do this. Lights off.
Whoa! Let me ask you a question. This reunion was planned by the other side.
Right.
I completely agree with that.
You tell us, is it just coincidence that while I was telling the story about rocks being picked up and thrown by themselves during our public event, Nick got hit in the back with a rock that was thrown up the stairs? You can even hear the rock hit the floor.
And after I said,
Bam!
and after I said,
Ba-bam!
and after I said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, Zach's question. Was it a
Oh, yeah.
coincidence that he got hit with a rock on the 4th floor?
Interns?
No! Oh, hell no! They set up the X cameras, and Zach sees a shadow at the end of the hallway on the 3rd floor and heard the footsteps coming towards them.
Aaron was on the floor beneath him, and he's the one that heard the steps coming down the hall towards them. They saw a shadow, and they heard loud enough footsteps a floor down.
Ow.
It's so fucked up.
They heard footsteps, I'd be out, man.
Yeah.
Zach and Nick, they get goosebumps. They're like, I feel this negative energy coming towards
it's
me.
already surrounded, and
All
it was literally
the
coming towards
footsteps
them.
don't translate here on the podcast. That's
Right.
why we're not playing them. But here comes the first EVP of the night. Ooh. They're back. What do they want? They're back. What do they want?
Nick and I continued down to the 1st floor to a room where it is said that a pregnant prostitute named Elizabeth died as she was chained to a radiator by George Wingfield, who built the hotel in the early 1900s. This room has a lot of meaning to us because of what we captured here on our first investigation. During that time, the feeling in this room was very welcoming and loving, but the first thing that
hard
hit
to
us now
believe.
was how that atmosphere seemed to have turned darker.
Room 109.
The infamous.
So
room
when
109.
Elizabeth is in there, the room feels welcoming and loving.
Right.
And then the creepy, horrible demons come. I mean, I keep hitting this thing. The EVPs that they get that night coming from that room has stayed with me
Yeah.
for so long. When they played this repeat, I lost my mind. Poor Nick.
He starts to feel the energy very strongly. He starts getting sick, and he starts looking. I would say he starts looking a little suspect. In
Yeah,
the
that
eye.
the little twinkly eye, a little
starts to come over him.
bit of King's Tavern
Yeah.
and Moon River Brewery. That look.
You feel that? I just felt a strong gust of the air just went like right through me, like right past my face and everything, man. You didn't feel that?
No. You alright, dude?
No,
You
he's
all right,
not.
dude? Zach starts to head into 109, and just as he's starting to get in the room, he hears a female crying.
It's-
Nick hears it too, all the way at the end of the hallway.
Yeah, it's a woman crying and then help me at the end of it,
Yeah.
which is sad, but the EVP doesn't translate here on the podcast.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Elizabeth! Sweetie? Did you just cry?
It's so sad.
They do not want us in here. It's not Elizabeth. It's like there's these other like guys in here, these bad entities.
I know,
that just
I
want
know.
us the out.
I know.
And as you were communicating with Elizabeth, I just heard like snarling.
I know, there's growling.
This is a different place. Especially this area than when we were here last. It seems it's gotten darker.
Yes.
A lot
And
darker.
room 109 has gotten darker. And let me ask you a question. Let me say something.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody goes to that room. All the investigations. This is just my opinion.
All right.
They are
Say it, Dee.
constantly opening new portholes in that room.
Right.
So you've got Legion hanging out in that room.
Just waiting for more people.
It was now time for us to meet back up with them and review our audio.
It's now time to review some EVPs. The
EVP
first
number
one
one
says,
is-
that's correct. That's correct.
Big time.
Next one's pretty scary.
some
I
attitude on
want
that
to
one.
talk to Zach. To talk to Zach.
I want to talk to Zach.
Wow.
With my name being said, it was time to go back into the basement, where to this date, Nick and I received our most compelling evidence ever.
After they call his
Spumoni.
name, yeah, they go right back to the worst place in the hotel.
They hear a noise down there, but they
Right.
can't confirm what it is.
Was that a little stone you threw? Come on, throw something bigger. Show us that strength again.
Come on. Get the fuck out of here.
And they do show the strength because all hell starts breaking loose upstairs.
They're downstairs in the basement for like 40 minutes, and Zach is sitting in the same spot
Sitting
that
on
the
the
brick
ground,
and the wood
chilling.
beam was thrown in the documentary in 2004. And
Yeah.
he's like, you know what, man? I feel more comfortable sitting right down here
It's all right.
than in room 109.
Not so bad.
Before going down to the basement, we had set up our PX device in room 109. Spirits can use the PX to speak to the living. The device did not make a single noise for
course not.
39 minutes. But
then-
when we return upstairs, Nick is strangely drawn to room 109, and it suddenly begins to speak.
It's got Nick and it's speaking.
Will kill. Will kill.
Did it just say will kill, Nick?
Yeah.
Come on. Will kill.
I'm out of here. Spumoni.
Spumoni.
What are you trying to tell us?
You know.
Come on, man. Enter, sit.
You can almost see teeth in that
Exorcist
EVP.
house. Come in, demon.
Right.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question, Zach.
Just said female?
Said female.
I just said who's in there, man or a woman? You a man or a woman?
Female, and it's pitch dark.
You just said female. Are you Elizabeth?
Hide.
Said hide.
Said
I would
hide.
hide.
Yeah, run the fuck out.
Come on. Hide.
Say what?
Rob Burgundy. Hide.
What?
Hide.
What's gonna happen if we don't hide?
I'm going to have to prepare for the EVPs that are about to come now. My hairs. You see my
Yeah, I
hairs?
know, man.
Why can't you be more like your brother? Harold would never beat up his
landlord.
That's from our theme today, the wedding
We're
singer.
about to get an EVP from the landlord of room 109. This is horrible.
Are the bad people around you right now?
At this exact moment, our digital recorder lying next to the PX device captures an absolutely frightening and terrorizing voice.
You ready, D?
And we're going to have to bleep part of it.
Damn it.
Are the bad people
Listen
around
to
you right
it.
now?
Listen to it.
What?
Get the fuck out of here.
It's crazy.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. Now, I thought it said, you're fucking in my house. And
Right.
you think it says...
You're shitting in my house, like
Right.
you're fucking in my house.
Yeah, you're shitting
yours
in-
is like you're in my fucking house.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
You're in
okay.
my motherfucking house now, motherfucker. You're fucking in my house. Demons! They speak really clear. The demons. They're clear, they're dark, and they mean business. Shove it up your ass!
They head down the hall to the room where Virginia Ridgeway was thrown against the wall.
Did you throw Virginia Ridgeway up against this wall? I want you to come out right now, and I demand you to manifest yourself.
They listen to an EVP that they get. Do you want to ask a question? Ask a question?
Yeah, I would.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I would. I would. The PX device in room 109 starts doing something it's never done before.
Overloaded.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
That's for Aaron.
PX is going crazy. Wait, shh. And now it's back on, dude. Get me the out of here, dude.
Big Step and Kang.
Big
I
Step
would
the
have
fuck
said
out
the
of
same
there.
thing the same exact way.
Complete overload, demonic overload of the PX.
Video.
So you say because we captured you on video?
I think I got the chills on
I know.
Is it supposed to do that?
No, it only does that when something is
a
going.
high energy boost into it
Demons.
will make it go wild.
Make your move!
Make your move, and everyone's sick and nauseous.
At this time, several things occur. First, there is this shocking male voice saying the name of the woman who was apparently chained to the radiator where she eventually died.
Come on. Elizabeth.
It is also at this time that we firmly believe some kind of energy from a dark entity starts to have an effect on Nick.
Nick,
What?
you still dizzy?
Did you feel a lot of things?
Alright, you're scaring me.
Just then, Mark's digital recorder captures this threatening
This is
voice.
horrible.
Alright, you're scaring me.
Seriously, let's get Zach. Let's get Zach.
Come on.
Come on, same kind of evil demon voice, very clear, like an exorcist house.
They're taking down Nick, now they're going after
Devil,
Zach.
Diablo.
And if you look very closely to the left side of your screen, you'll notice that right after that voice was captured, this black mass or figure unexplainably appears and then moves towards Mark.
I did notice that. That's the guy that said, let's get Zach.
Nick, what? You okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
No,
Twinkly eye.
Mark's telling Zach, hey man, Nick is off, and everybody feels this heavy darkness come over them.
We all rush towards this loud crashing sound, and in the last room on the left, we discovered shards of broken glass all over the floor.
What just broke?
It's just glass.
Okay, so where the did the glass come from? I was just in here. That glass wasn't here.
Oh, that was
I
cool.
mean, it's been cussing them out. Now they're all getting physically sick. Now
And
it's,
drained.
And now it's breaking physical objects. That's
awesome.
That's awesome.
Dude, are you throwing up?
Is the negative energy we all felt during this investigation having an effect on us? By
Yes.
listening to all the voices we captured,
Yes. Kill. Let's get Zach. My fucking house.
Video.
we know they want us out. And we also know why the owner keeps this place firmly locked from the living.
Shit,
Red
these
nose,
guys are
man.
the best. Zach, take us out.
We drove into the desert in search of a reason as to how a thriving mining town could seemingly
Thank
disappear
God
into
you
thin
did.
air. It soon became clear that this air was thick with malevolent spirits.
Sure
And
was.
while we learned that our hunting skills had
us.
sharpened, we also learned that while we were preparing for the spirit world, the spirits had been preparing for us.
That's right. GAC, GAC, GAC. Phenomenal. Zach has a new book that's coming out in February. It's called I Am Haunted. I can't wait for the documentary, The Portal to Hell
man.
House.
That's gotta come
Because I
out.
believe he is haunted. But I'm definitely going to get I Am Haunted because
Yes.
I love Dark World.
Chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, yeah!
It's so good.
Congratulations, Nick, on the birth of Chloe. We are all very happy for you
Nice.
here.
Yeah.
Season 10 starts October 4th.
We
Aftershock
all
starts
can't wait.
September 20th. It can't come soon enough. And the
the-
Halloween
right.
2-hour
The
special.
second new Aftershocks is where? Is at Lizzie
Lizzie
Borden.
Borden house.
Another one.
I
Come
know.
on,
I'm
man.
so excited. I
Right
can't
on.
even take it.
It is time for our siren to sing to us.
Yes. I'm so happy. Cause
Exit.
today you found my
Dude, that
friends.
was Kurt,
They're
man.
in my head. I'm so ugly, but that's okay, cause so are you. We broke our mirrors. Sunday morning is every day for all I care. I'm not scared. Why am I not scared?
I know why.
Cause it's evolution, revolution. Bring your life! Let's take this down. The new revolution is here. Peace, love, empathy, caring about our fellow man. We come here as equals and sit down at King Arthur's round table and we speak our truth, our truths. We talk about empowering ourselves, freeing our mind from fear, stop making decisions out of fear. I do it a lot, okay, guys?
It's so healthy and
but
loving
you
of being
never,
turned on.
you never make good decisions when you're doing that.
No, when you're stressed, you're crazy.
But I'm in the fight to not do it every day. We're going to have a very serious discussion with a lot of information. So you won't be hearing any wedding singer clips during Evolution Revolution today.
Oh, I don't need more time, Robbie. I don't ever want to marry you.
Oh, man.
Geez, you know, that information might have been a little more useful to me yesterday. Once again, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday!
A wedding singer!
Birthday today.
Except for those quotes, maybe.
I had to put those in.
But we will be enjoying the music from Wedding Singer because that's how we do.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes this Chasing Domenico podcast. And of course, the combination between the music and the discussion
is magic.
is what makes it the podcast.
All right, let's get into it.
This case involves animal protection and bullying. Two of my favorites! Basically, Curly Tail Pug Rescue.
Which listeners know is a favorite of Dee's.
That's right.
She supports monthly. She's a monthly benefactor, and she has been for several years.
Yes, I've met them in person.
Yes.
I've gone to a fundraiser. This is an honorable and reputable
501c nonprofit organization. So we're going to talk about the events just first. And while we're doing this, interns, I know this is very heated for you guys. Just keep it down, keep it chill, and we'll just get through this because there's a lot to go through. Labor Day weekend. It all started off with some good Samaritans in a neighborhood out in Suffolk County.
Yeah.
They're just out for the day. It's a holiday weekend, and they see a pug in distress in the road.
That makes me just a pug in the road distressed.
A pug in distress.
That's horrible.
It should be a pug in the sun all the time.
Pug in the sun.
Right. So they find this pug, and as good Samaritans, they go, man.
Let's call him his name is Bubba.
Bubba.
They find
Bubba the pug. They find him in the street. He's emaciated and dehydrated. They bring out food to him, and they bring water to him, and they see that he is beyond just getting a little bit of help in the street, and they go and they take him to a local vet. It's hot. The vet looks at him, contacts Curly Tail Pug Rescue because they're a local organization that helps pugs, and the vet clearly saw that this pug was in distress and needed help outside of where its home was.
Yeah, and it had no collar, so they just treated it like they would.
Like a stray.
Any other protection, any other pug that they would rescue and help. There's nothing unusual about this kind of transaction.
No.
Okay.
So Curly Tail comes to the vet, picks up the dog, and then takes it into their organization that night. And when the owners found out that Curly Tail had Bubba, the next day, Labor Day, a officer from the Suffolk SPCA shows up at Curly Tail and arrests the intake volunteer. Think about that. He comes in.
They arrested the person that was on the job. It's not even the person that had Bubba. It's like going into a company and arresting the receptionist because she accepted your FedEx package.
So that happens Labor Day. She's arrested and she's released in a few hours, and she was helped by the Lexus Project, which is a nonprofit animal rights legal group. So bravo to them.
Yes.
On Tuesday now, Curly Tail appropriately begins to try and contact the owners. So when the head of Curly Tail contacts the owner, the wife goes ballistic.
I think, we're not going to give out names, but I do think that we need to give the owner's first name just so we don't get too confused.
Okay.
The owner's name.
The owner of Bubba
Yes.
is Patty.
Okay.
Patty.
We'll leave it at that. I'm not interested in creating a lynching mob. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many layers here about bully, about becoming a bully yourself.
Do we give the first name of the lady at Curly Tail to differentiate her as well?
Sure.
Okay. Her name is Drea. And so Drea contacted Patty and said, listen, we have your dog, but we have some concerns that we just need some documentation and then some proof that this is your dog.
A rescue organization will ask an owner, and I'm doing quotes even though
Quote
you
fingers.
can't see me,
Right.
proof of
ownership
and vet records.
Right, vet
so
records.
that's standard practice. Ask them, hey, for vet records.
Right, because
and if they did that, we would not be having this discussion
battle's
right
over.
now.
Battle's
over.
It's over. But they didn't give the records, and instead they became irate, hostile, and threatening. So,
Anally.
Anally
threatening.
Yeah, that is the hallmark of being embarrassed
Yes.
and fighting back instead of standing up and taking responsibility for what you did and then moving on.
On Curly Tail Pug Rescue, it says their job is to rescue a dog and find it a good foster care or forever home.
Right.
And then the other is returning animals to their owners.
Reuniting.
The owners come. They must be embarrassed and angry and all of the above, right? If that is the case, go to Curly Tail, be like, fuck you, give me my dog. Here's the paperwork that you're asking for. Because I'm so offended and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Battle's over. That's it. That's it.
Right.
And then if you want to go after the organization, which is kind of not cool, go, whatever.
Do
but
it after the fact.
because the Curly Tail is being correct. They want to make sure that this is the owner. And if this is the owner, does he have a regular vet? That's it.
Because even if a dog is looking and appearing to be emaciated and malnourished, if you call up the vet and they're like, hey, this dog's kind of old and sickly, he's been that way for years.
Right, that's what
You're
I'm
like,
saying.
okay, great.
Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of bullying going on.
Right.
The dog got out of the yard.
Sure.
Now, here I am playing dumb. Now, clearly, I am on the side of Curly Tail Pug Rescue. Let's make that very clear.
But you're open and
I
objective.
like to look at both sides. Okay, yes, dogs get out of the yard.
Sure, not a problem.
The owners are saying, he's old, he doesn't gain weight. That could very well be the truth.
Absolutely.
Hey, got my 16-year-old pug. Look how fucked up he is, but the doctor knows that, and this is the best he is at this age, so we're going to be taking care of him, right? And in that case, you give them the vet records, and it's over. He's an older dog. Maybe this is as good as it gets for him, but that's not the case because Curly Tail volunteer that has Bubba, Bubba has gained some weight just in a few days.
Right, 3 or 4 days.
That's all I'm saying. Let's get back to this arrest.
So, interestingly enough...
Let me just put this out there, which I will lean into after we get some facts out.
Yeah.
Curly Tail Pug Rescue is being threatened, bullied, like you would not believe, which is why I am talking about it on the podcast now, which is why I have tweeted out to my friends for help to sign this petition. All they need is 5,000.
Right.
That's why I posted it on Facebook. This is why I'm reaching out to podcast fan friends, GAC family who love animals. Go.
The officer that arrested the volunteer.
It wasn't a police officer.
No, it was not a police officer. It was an officer of the SPCA, which is
an important organization to have, and they are there specifically
to defend animals and their rights.
Yes.
To step in when they see animal abuse.
Yes.
That's the good cause. That's the good fight.
Yeah.
This particular officer, which we don't need the name because that's not important.
And it is on all the information.
Right.
Anyway,
So it's right there. You can read
on
it.
Labor Day,
Right, on
which
Labor
is
Day.
suspect. Go
That's
ahead.
Very suspect.
Go ahead.
That's showing up in the back door. Shows up and just arrests.
We don't like them in the back door.
Arrest the intake volunteer.
Yes,
who,
which is
who doesn't have the dog.
Who doesn't have Bubba.
Right.
Which is a tactic, which is a bully.
Hey, listen, I got the person in front. Whoever's in back with Bubba, come the fuck out now.
Right.
That's what that is.
Right.
And what's even more interesting is that Curly Tail has opened an investigation with that same organization,
Right, not-
with the Suffolk SPCA.
Yes,
not
no-
with that officer,
Right.
with that office.
I want
That
to
separates
commend
them.
Curly Tail Pug Rescue for the way they are handling this because it's their version of the Ubi rule.
Very
you know what I mean?
classy.
You know, class. That's why I have this. I'm going to read this. This is like at the top on curlytailpugrescue.org.
This
and
is their
I have to
opening
tell
statement.
you, this is how it's handled. Yes, you have to talk about it and, get your feelings and listen to this. This situation is a profound reminder that everyone in the animal community, including advocates, owners, and law enforcement, must hold themselves to the highest standard of conduct because there are very real consequences to our choices. Our laws are in place for a reason. Abuse of power can and does happen. For this reason, we have to remember that the law applies to everyone, and it is up to us to make sure that we are all in compliance. Be skeptical, but respectful. Ask questions, not just of owners, but of animal rescues, and even political advocacy groups. This debate, as uncomfortable as it may be, is critical and valuable to animal lovers everywhere, whether we agree or disagree. Regardless of which position you support, let's make sure this conversation continues.
Boom!
Boom! Class.
That is
because
classy,
they do not.
objective.
They are not mudslinging. They
Right.
are sticking to the topic. Yes, they are. They apologize profusely. About having to air this, but they are being physically threatened.
Right.
These bullies are going to volunteers' houses.
Oh, yeah.
Houses at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
To harass the families, threaten them. Imagine some lady showing up outside your house shouting for you to return her dog when you don't have it. She's harassing someone just because she knows they're with that organization.
Let's get back to the facts.
Okay, so
this conversation is going to get people heated and that's why we're just talking about everything.
We're back to Tuesday. This is the Tuesday after Labor Day weekend. Drea, the head of Curly Tail Pug Rescue, contacts Patty,
yes,
Bubba's
the owner,
mom,
yes,
and gets nowhere, gets berated, gets insulted, gets lectured, and gets threatened.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, let me call the husband. Ooh. So she calls the husband, and the husband, this is a great line, basically, the husband was uninterested. This is from the blog.
From Curly Tail Pug.
Unfortunately, Patty's husband was uninterested in providing the information requested and offered some unique but anatomically impossible suggestions, followed up by additional threats of violence.
Holy crap, holy.
Nice.
So Drea is trying to reach out to this family to try to work out what is going on with Bubba and figure something out.
And she's met with hostility, anger,
because
violence.
They're being defensive. Because the owner of Bubba, hello, these are defensive actions of anger.
Sure.
Just cough up the vet information and this is over. Go ahead, go back to the facts.
On Tuesday night, that's when the first midnight rampage stalking starts with the owners against the volunteers.
Gosh.
And the actual son of Patty, Bubba's mom,
yes,
he came out and said, yes, I did drive Patty to a volunteer's house around 10, 11 o'clock at night. She did shout at the house. And I can verify that my parents do not pay for veterinary costs for their dogs because they feel that the costs are not warranted. And also, the son has left the house because of their volatile nature between the two of them.
That kind of backfired on Patty, the owner of Bubba. You know, the son drove her out there, which wasn't right, but then put her on blast. So, you know.
Wednesday, Curly Tail takes Bubba to a second vet to get a second opinion.
Right.
Outside, not involved.
Yes.
The report comes back. Bubba's fine.
Because they give a shit about the dog and less about flexing and talking about bullshit.
And they don't mind paying
like
for the
bullies
vet
do.
costs.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, go.
So
I'm trying to control the Sicilian in me.
So the vet report comes back and they post it online. It's right there for you to read.
Yeah.
The long and short is, Bubba is just fine.
He's
just
16.
Old. He's old, but his functions are working, so there's no reason for him to be malnourished and dehydrated except for neglect. There's no other reason.
And he's gained weight the last several days.
Right. So now on Thursday, they posted up photos of Bubba showing that he'd gained a little bit of weight. That's when they had confirmed Patty and her husband,
Bubba's parents,
are confirmed backyard breeders. I'm doing quote fingers
Yeah.
too. That falls under a very gray area within the breeding community.
Yeah.
That means that they're small enough that they're not regulated or controlled, but
Mhm.
they still have the capacity to breed. So
Right.
they're like part-timers doing shit on the fly, not regulated, not
Without
controlled.
veterinary care.
Without veterinary care because they don't want to pay for
As
it.
long as they keep it under 25 dogs at a
Right.
time. Is that
Right.
correct?
Under 25
Right.
dogs,
Yeah.
then they're not monitored.
Right.
That's crazy.
So that kind of supports what the
Right.
son is saying, that they don't want to pay all these vet bills.
Right.
It's blah, blah, blah. Is that it for
That's all the facts.
Those are the facts. Let's get to the bullies. These bullies have started a Facebook page.
Yes.
Not going to tell you where to go because
easy to
part
find
of
it.
right, because I'm not about to start the mudslinging, but I am angry and you guys are going to hear my anger
Yeah.
and I'm going to express my anger. And then you put it in its rightful place.
Right.
And that's why I commend Curly Tail Pug Rescue, because they are not mudslinging. They are sticking to the facts. These
Right.
bullies found some paperwork that Curly Tail Pug Rescue is behind on. Just one thing.
Right.
And on this Facebook page, they are talking about that. Every single human being right now probably has some paper or some library book,
Right.
some shit that you didn't do
Right.
correctly or you haven't got to, some T's that weren't crossed,
Right.
some I's weren't dotted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
So that's what these guys are concentrating on.
Right, because
not
that's all they
getting
got.
Bubba back.
Right.
I've known this organization for several years.
Yeah, they're
they
great.
do nothing but help people. Guys, this is the organization that saved Oscar, the pug after Hurricane Sandy, who suffers from seizures and they don't know why, and he's still getting care. His foster mother became his forever home. I met her, and she was helpful to me when Lola started having seizures. It was because of the videos of Oscar having a seizure is why I knew what to do when Lola had her seizure out of
Right.
the blue. It was upsetting. And when I
Awesome.
watched Oscar's video,
Yeah.
it was upsetting. I didn't want to watch it. And that's when I'm like, you know what? You can't close your eyes to this.
Right.
But it helped me when Lola had her seizure.
Sure,
I knew
yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
Another very interesting part of the bullies
Yeah.
on Facebook, the same kind of venom that Dr. Koshi went through. The things that they are saying are so beyond ridiculous and volatile, it's ridiculous. I understand expressing your anger, but what are we doing here?
You're putting out negativity into the universe.
The bullies are talking about karma. Nothing but karma for Curly Tail Pug Rescue. They should have karma, karma, karma. Now, now let me put my shit down right now. Now here I go.
Okay, go.
Yes, I hope Curly Tail Pug
Easy
Rescue
interns,
gets.
easy interns.
I hope Curly Tail Pug Rescue gets karma because people assume karma's a bad thing.
Right.
Do something good, yo, and it's gonna come back to you. So yes, Curly Tail Pug is going to have great karma.
Right.
Now these fucking assholes that are saying things that are so beyond people getting jumped and you should be killed, horrible things that I am not even going to say. Guess what, karma? It's gonna come right back to you. You're gonna put these things out there and say these incredibly inappropriate things to an animal organization that is helping an animal, and this is what you've got to say about it, and you want to talk about karma? Karma's coming for you! Shove it up your ass! Shove it up your ass!
You talked about Game of Life last podcast.
Yeah, so everything that I'm shouting out in the world is going to come back to me. It's important to express your feelings. I'm talking about on a regular basis.
And
if you
also
are
wishing
going, and you are going after somebody and wishing them, that's
harm,
what we're
you will
talking
get
about.
harm.
Yes.
Right.
Because it's about energy. Just a quick recap on the Dr. Koshi story in episode 34.
34. We did
About
Nacho
bullying,
Libre.
yes.
The short of it is a lady was keeping a colony of cats in the park illegally. Some Samaritans found one of those cats, this is so familiar, in the street
Took it to the
poorly.
vet. This is
Took it to
Riverdale,
the
New
vet.
York,
Right,
yes.
took it to the vet. The vet saw it, gave it emergency care, and needed to take it home and nurse it at home because, again, one of the reasons that Curly Tail said that they couldn't put Bubba into the system was that he was so frail that his health could not sustain any sort of contamination.
Oh, wait, we forgot to say that the cop, who's not really a cop, what he said to Curly Tail was, hey, man, he's old. He's 16. Just give him back.
He's gonna die soon.
fucking die.
Yeah, it's
Are
not
you
worth it.
kidding me?
It's not worth
That guy could live to 17 and a half. It doesn't matter. All right, so Dr. Koshi, so basically...
Dr. Koshi took it in.
She
and
got
then,
bullied beyond belief, and
Right.
she committed suicide.
Right.
And then these bullies were celebrating her suicide.
like,
and
oh,
I believe
shoulda happened, shoulda happened.
I tweeted
Crazy.
out pictures of the memorial of people.
The exact parallels between this and that and this story now is unheard of.
Right. And the bullies are going after people that want to help Curly Tail Pug Rescue.
Right.
So
wait,
everybody, listen, it's scary for me to stand up for what's right. It's important and it's scary for me to put myself out there. I don't want to be attacked and all of the above, but I am standing up for what I believe in. I'm handling it the best way I can. I am not attacking people, though I do have spurts and moments of Sicilian anger.
but you are following the Ubi rule as best you can.
Yes.
Which is unfollow, block, and ignore.
ignore.
One more time.
Unfollow, block, and ignore. And Curly Tail Pug Rescue, I commend them for the way they are handling this because it is hard to not come back at somebody on a public forum and tell them to go fuck themselves.
When they're telling you to go fuck yourself.
But Curly Tail Pug Rescue is concentrating on what's important.
Yes.
Bubba.
Bubba!
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why is Bubba's mommy, Patty, that's hard to say, Mama's buddy Patty, why is she only posting old pictures of Bubba? Not recent ones.
Right.
Because apparently Bubba wasn't missing very long.
Yeah.
So he didn't get into this condition because he was out on the streets for a long time.
Right.
He was like this. And maybe he didn't accidentally get out of the yard. Maybe he was running away. Maybe he was trying to find a better home.
It's like, I'm out.
And with Curly Tail Pug Rescue, he will find a better home.
Absolutely.
So let's tell everybody where they can go to sign the petition because it's almost at 5,000. They need 5,000. It's not far from that.
No, it's not. They're at 46 and change.
Tomac
another
family,
400 people.
sign
Here's where you
this.
go. But here's the direct information. You go to care2.com. So it's care2.com with the number 2 and search for Protect Bubba. That's the name of the petition. And the reason they need 5,000 signatures is that The SPCA gets a lot of cases every year with bad abuse,
Yeah.
so they're overloaded.
Sure.
So to get a petition together with 5 signatures shows that there's a community support,
Right.
and this case will get elevated up the pile.
Yeah.
That's the reason. That's it.
That's SPCA Suffolk County.
Right.
I put a link on Facebook. I
Mhm.
tweeted out a link. And also asked Zach if he could retweet the information so more people can see this and get involved, because Ghost Adventures fans,
GAC
man, we
family.
are all about protecting animals and against bullying. 2 things that Zach feels very strongly about.
I just got off the phone with Linda's mom. Linda's
nice, right?
There was a note.
Oh, shit.
A note?
A note?
Everything all right?
Not really.
Yeah, she's okay.
She's okay.
She's okay?
It
bitch.
basically indicated that Linda was not coming today.
So it was a bad
note.
I needed that.
I bet you did. That's from our theme today, The Wedding Singer.
This is Glam Dream Pop.
Bang, 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 bang.
All right, Dee, what's the 6th rule of Glam Dream Pop?
Face 3 things that you are afraid of. And that is what I'm doing on September 20th with WT Wizard
And there's like 80 things there to be afraid
at
of.
Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum.
Yeah.
Video kill the radio star.
Siren.
Video kill the radio
There's love in that voice.
It's time to give some shout-outs. Tomac family member Tara Shea.
At Terra Shea 79.
She's my Princess Terra Nova. She uses the buddy system.
In a
Thank
big
you.
way,
In a
man.
big way.
Yeah.
Keep doing it, girl. Tomac family member, formerly known as Tara Shari, because I was butchering her beautiful name, is Tara
Tara
Cherie.
Cherie, and her handle is Tara Cherie _TFP, and that's a new handle.
And her alter ego is Phoebe the Hero. She did a great bullying video and gave me a shout out. Thank you, girl.
She even mentioned the Ubi rule and everything. It was great.
Hashtag Team Love, Curly Tail Pug Rescue.
At Curly Tail Rescue.
Of course.
Yes.
Amelia Martinez.
At Neo Mayan Era.
You're getting another shout out because you keep sending my podcast links out. Talk about the buddy system.
That's the Twitter buddy system.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Of course, my GAC family.
Love you.
Yeah.
And what the Planet Tomac family does not know is that Dee has purchased everybody a copy of The Game of Life. We talked about it last podcast 38.
You guys are going to be getting that in the mail, whether you want it or not. If you don't want to read it, that's fine. If you do, follow the white rabbit to the way of the world and release your fear.
Hey, rip your heart out of your ass.
If you want to read it, it's from me to you with love.
If you want to support real, independent, authentic artists,
me,
you can support Dee by going to the music.
Everything online is DominicoArtist. Twitter, Facebook,
The website.
YouTube,
Pinterest.
SoundCloud. Well, cut it out. I got to get my Pinterest
Yeah.
on, man.
And we're actually-
I'm getting better at Instagram.
Yes.
And that's under DominicoArtist too. On Twitter, I have 2, DominicoArtist, and a separate one as well as at Chasing Domenico for the podcast.
Domenico's new single, Remember, is going to be coming out on Halloween.
And it's about the same guy as the guy I used to know is about.
We are ELE Media, New York City.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
We got to deal with jerks like that.
ELE Media has only one artist.
Me!
You!
I write, produce, write for other people.
Arrange,
That's
just
right.
make podcasts.
I'm a plethora of income for a record company. And ELE Media has it all.
Boom! There's no machine to promote an independent artist like Domenico.
That's
So
right.
here, we use the
Buddy system.
You need somebody watching your back at all times.
Buddy system.
buddy system.
Share the music, share the podcast with at least one friend and ask them to do the same. The buddy system. And the currency around here is retweets, shares, and downloads. And then you can get all up in my bag.
Get it all up in your bag.
You got a bag?
Wait. Wait. Hold on. The dart, man. Got a fucking dart in your neck. You're crazy. You're crazy.
Interns.
I like you. But you're crazy.
Total brilliance.
Gee, why did Frank the Tank stop by?
Because this is chapter 4, here's some more, and any Will Ferrell character can stop by anytime. When that was old school, baby.
That's the Inception train.
It says, man, you better get ready for that kick to be kicked off of planet Tomac and wake up out of my dreams. I am crazy.
And we're here at the Chasing Domenico podcast drinking game section. Frank the Tank is so clutch. Frank the Tank character was what made you fall in love.
Oh my
with
God.
like
It
Will
was
Ferrell.
a
You're like,
whole
you're
other
like-
level, man.
Yeah, you're like, this is brilliant.
When that movie came out, man, it'd go to Blockbuster. The guy behind the counter was like,
whatever guy it was.
Whoever it was that was selling it to you looked at you as you were buying it and said, the dart scene, man. It was a different language. Will Ferrell for president!
All right, so we're going to go over the drink count from last episode, episode 38. The drink count was 87 drinks. Not so bad. Not so bad.
And I'm going to take this opportunity to say, if you notice, guys, once we got on Tolmac, we said start the drinking game now.
Right.
So start it then. Don't start in the beginning because you're going to be like 50 drinks in with all the clips from the movies.
Right,
And you have to drink every time there's a clip.
Just be responsible. So here are the drinking game rules. Every rule is one drink. First rule is when you hear a quote from our movie theme of the day, that's Wedding Singer. Anytime you hear Domenico say the word fuck, that's just you. You hear us say evolution, revolution, and free your mind. Anytime you hear us say mystery clip. When you hear us transport to Tolmac, which sounds like every time Domenico says bang.
The energy in here tonight is just fucking crazy, man.
And last rule is every time Domenico snorts.
I'm an empath. I feel everybody's shit, man.
That's energy. The special Tolmac rule is that you have to play as your party alter ego. If I'm drinking and I say, hey, D, take a drink.
Yeah.
And I don't say, hey, Queen D Morpheus, I got to drink a shot of Jaeger.
That's right.
The golden rule is you cannot say
Drink, or drunk, or you have to drink.
Throw your hands in the air if you think you're a player!
If you think you're a player, then add the gangster
the
rule,
interns
which
think
is
they're
the
players.
drink count to the Ghost Adventures lockdown that we do today, which was the Goldfield
Hotel.
So go do that and get the rules at Drinky Wiki and call the car services because nobody should be driving home.
Mama say that happiness is from magic rays of sunshine that come down when you're feeling blue.
That's a mystery clip. Oh,
There's Jack Ferry, our tour guide here. He says it's time to depart from Planet Tolmac, the after party.
Through Wonderland.
Back to Earth, because the after party is at DominicoArtist.com.
The new
So bookmark
updated.
it, and it's going to be updated, and it's groovy, man. So get on the VIP list.
When is the next full moon, D?
The next full moon is October 8th.
Wednesday. And what are we doing for that podcast?
What are we doing? For episode 40?
Yeah.
I believe we're doing the 4th annual Chasing Domenico Video Halloween Special! That's right, bitches! Last year was Amityville.
Right,
This year, it's Lorraine Warren's Occult
We
Museum.
just amp it up every year. It's like next year we're going to have to just go to hell and shoot
Terrified,
there.
man. I'm not Ghost Adventures level,
come
man.
on,
This is
sure you
like
are.
maybe this is reaching a little too
We're
high.
gonna film going there just like we did for the Amityville special. We're gonna get a little traveling video of you going to the cult museum this time.
I'm ready to Amityville.
When we get there, we're gonna big step in. Not me, not we, you. When I say
Oh yeah,
we,
me.
I mean
yeah,
you.
okay. If it's all right with Lorraine, if we haven't
Right.
even worked this out. See, what people don't know about me is that like I'm kind of shy.
Right.
Ow, I'm kind of shy. So like you're gonna have to ask Lorraine this shit.
I have no problem.
If
Go
she
ahead.
starts talking to us, then I'll start talking. But you know,
course.
I'm not the one to be like, hey.
I think she will sense you. She will sense your light and your power and your empath ability.
I'd be out, dude. If Lorraine Warren looked at me and said any of that shit, I'd be out. That's too high level,
We're at
man.
dinner
My
and she-
head
and
was
she-
already exploding. So we're going to have some fun.
Yes.
And that's going to be September 20th. I guess I should maybe tweet some shit or Vine like big stepping in front of Annabelle for
Yes.
Aaron, right? And I was going to be Maleficent.
Yeah.
For Halloween,
But
like it's hard, man, because all the headgear is like scuba wear. It's horrible. My head starts to sweat in 60 seconds.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm
It's
rethinking that, and
impractical.
then maybe Medusa because of my family lineage in Montemaggiore, Sicily, the city of Medusa. Maybe a glam dream pop version of Medusa. Whatever that means.
Sure.
With glitter.
Yeah.
Of course, with glitter. Glam dream pop. It's a state of mind, and it usually involves glitter. It's been a long time.
I'm gonna be Leslie Vernon.
Yeah! Vernon Nights, B4TM.
Hey!
Behind the Mask, the rise of Leslie Vernon.
Before the mask.
The return of Leslie Vernon. The Sprequel. That's how brilliant they are. Sprequel.
Well, Sprequel.
If you haven't seen the mockumentary Behind the Mask, the rise of Leslie Vernon,
Yes.
do it right now, right after you listen to this podcast. Hashtag B4TM.
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, yeah!
Make you smile whenever you're sad.
carry you around when your arthritis is bad. All I wanna do
Hold on.
is grow old with you.
Yeah, good job, guys. Before and after. Oh, yeah. I'll be back on
Take some time to celebrate. Just one day out of life. It would be so nice. Everybody spread the word. I live in my sister's basement.
She made me a present.
I
am an asshole.
I love that.
Hey, you know, Wayne Singer.
Great speech, though, man.
Thank you. Jimmy Moore saying that ain't no sign in my crotch.
Right now, I feel like I'm doomed to wander the planet alone forever.
Oh, Julia
You
Gulia.
like the Incredible Hulk?
Julia, that's funny.
Don't want to live in my sister's basement anymore. I want to get a big house, have some security. Can't do that doing favors for people all the time, getting paid in meatballs.
It depends on the friend.
Well, I have a microphone, and you don't.
So you will listen to every damn word I have to say!
Would you like some champagne or some orange juice?
Yeah, sure.
How much is it?
It's free.
It's what? Holy shit, this is incredible. You guys are off to a great start, don't you think? I mean, Cindy showed up, so right away, Scott, you gotta be pretty psyched, right?
Oh, my stomach.
You've always been there for me. I was in rehab. At the time I couldn't find my car. Harold ain't so perfect. At that time in Puerto Rico when we picked up those two, well, I guess they were prostitutes, but I don't remember paying.
This has been episode 39.
Chitty bang bang yeah!
Yeah!
The Chasing Domenico podcast.
Let me ask you a question.
Ask your question. You stay classy, planet Earth.
And thanks for stopping by.
But mostly,
Eat shit, Derek.
don't just have a great night.
Interns,
Have an American night!
Now that your baby mama sucking some dick on camera, can you not marry me, please?
Now with this.
I mean, you say you ain't gonna marry me because I been sucking on dick all the time. You don't gotta marry me because I been sucking on the dick all the time. I suck on your dick when you get married. When we get married, I be like, I do suck your dick. I suck your dick. I do.
Calm down, Jocelyn.